Welcome to today's collection of top news stories from Zir News 24. Today is Tuesday, 7th of Asad 1404 in the Hijri solar calendar, corresponding to July 29th, 2025. I'm Pashtana Uryakul, bringing you the most important national and international news stories from Zir News 24. Headlines first. UNICEF warns of extreme malnutrition in Afghanistan. Estimated 165,000 children and 93,000 pregnant and breastfeeding women in Badakhshan province will suffer from severe malnutrition. Afghan Emirati Companies Authority signs 25 billion AFN worth of agreements. 1 million acres of land allocated to Emirati companies and major investment contracts signed. Death toll from hunger rises in Gaza. Gaza's health ministry reports 147 deaths from hunger and malnutrition, including 88 children. Mass shooting in New York leaves 5 dead. Detailed news. 25 billion AFN investment contracts signed by Emirati companies. The head of the Afghan Emirate Companies Authority, Maulawi Ahmad Jan Bilal, announced in a press conference that agreements worth 25 billion Afghanis were signed last year. 1 million acres of land were allocated to these companies. Afghanistan's oil and gas Emirate company imported over 3.5 billion kilograms of petroleum products last year, including petrol, diesel, gas, lubricants, and aviation fuel. Additionally, over 90 new telecom sites were activated, mostly in the southern zone, offering 2G, 3Gs, 4G services. Bilal also mentioned that 23 joint ventures and project proposals were approved in electricity generation, mining, fuel stations, and other sectors, leading to 22 billion AFN in private sector investment. These are expected to generate 32 billion AFN in future revenue. A 619 megawatts electricity project is underway, with an additional 1,000 megawatts to begin soon. A new power line from Turkmenistan to Herat has been completed, enabling the transmission of an additional 200 megawatts. The valuation of 14 Emirati companies revealed a total asset value of about 121 billion AFN. UNICEF. Badakhshan faces highest malnutrition rates. UNICEF warns that this year in Badakhshan, 165,000 children and 93,000 pregnant or nursing women are expected to face severe malnutrition. Around 20% of these children will need emergency treatment. UNICEF is implementing a comprehensive program in 13 provinces in northern and eastern Afghanistan to tackle root causes of malnutrition. Started in 2022 and running through 2026, this initiative aims to improve nutrition for 1.5 million children under age 5. Over 20% of Afghan women show signs of malnutrition, and about a third suffer from anemia. The program supports 1.1 million adolescent girls and over 500,000 pregnant or new mothers. UNICEF reports that 90% of Afghan children do not receive the nutrition needed for healthy development. This year, 3 million children, 1 million pregnant or breastfeeding women will require treatment for acute malnutrition. Registration for Afghan workers going to Qatar begins today on Miwan Road in Kabul. Registration began for 2,000 Afghan workers going to Qatar under a bilateral agreement. Dozens gathered to apply. Applicants will undergo health and skills testing before being selected. The Ministry of Labor and Social Affairs promises a transparent and fair process and plans to begin transferring workers soon. Afghan envoy attends 7th Eurasian Space Congress in Moscow. Maulawi Gul Hassan, Afghanistan's envoy in Moscow, participated in the 7th Eurasian Space Congress. According to a statement, discussions included strategic shifts in space policy and management challenges. Delegates from Russia, Belarus, Arab states, and others also attended. Rail freight update. According to the Ministry of Public Works, 393,294 metric tons of goods were transported by rail last month. 286,187 tons via Hairatan Port, 33,772 tons via Akina Port, 36,109 tons via Torgundi Port, 37,226 tons via Kaf Herat Line. Of the total, 3,189 tons were exports, primarily dried fruits and pomegranate juice. The ministry is working to improve conditions for traders and increase transport capacity. International news. Famine deaths increase in Gaza. Gaza's health ministry says 147 people have died of hunger, including 88 children. In the last 24 hours alone, 14 more, including 2 children, have died. The UN warns that those still alive look like corpses and calls for immediate ceasefire and aid. UN envoy Philippe Lazzarini said, "Statements alone won't solve this. Real action is required." Former U.S. President Donald Trump acknowledged the crisis and promised to work with others to set up food and hygiene centers. Despite Israeli claims of temporary humanitarian pauses, the UN says they are limited and uncoordinated. People are storming aid trucks due to desperation. Gaza's government says around 40,000 infants lack milk substitutes. Airstrikes continue across Gaza. On Monday alone, 88 people were killed, 40 while waiting for aid, and nearly 1,000 others have died near aid centers. Fresh Israeli strikes kill 92 Palestinians in Gaza. On Monday, at least 92 Palestinians were killed, including 41 civilians waiting in aid lines. Despite declared ceasefires, Israel's attacks continue. Human rights organizations B'Tselem and Physicians for Human Rights accuse Israel of genocide in separate reports. This morning, 34 more Palestinians were killed in various areas of Gaza. Israeli settler kills Palestinian activist in the occupied West Bank. An Israeli settler shot and killed prominent Palestinian activist Odeh Mohammed Hathalin, a teacher and social justice advocate. He was killed in al-Khair village in Hebron, part of the Masafer Yatta region. He was known for resisting land confiscation and settler violence. He had contributed to the award-winning 2024 documentary No Other Land, depicting life under Israeli occupation. Activists are calling for an international investigation into this killing, calling it another example of violence by Israeli settlers. 5 killed in New York shooting. A 27-year-old gunman opened fire in a high-rise building on Park Avenue, Manhattan, killing a police officer and 3 civilians and injuring another. The shooter, a Las Vegas resident, then took his own life. Authorities are investigating his mental state and motive. Heavy rains killed 30 in Beijing. Heavy rainfall and floods in Beijing have killed at least 30 people. Over 80,000 people have been evacuated. Power is out in 136 villages, and roads and bridges are damaged. Emergency services are working to deliver aid and restore order. 17. Killed in Ecuador bar shooting. In El Empalme, Ecuador, armed men attacked a bar on Sunday night, killing 17 people, including a child. 11 others were injured. One child ran nearly a kilometer before dying of injuries. President Daniel Noboa has given police more powers to fight crime. Sports news. Bodybuilding and fitness competitions in Kunduz. The 11th round of bodybuilding and fitness competitions was held in Kunduz, with 53 athletes. 9 were selected for bodybuilding and 5 for fitness. Akbari Club won first place, Nabizada Club second, and Amo Club third. Football tournament begins in Khost. A regional football tournament began in Khost, featuring top teams from the southeastern and eastern zones. In the first match, Khost Mujahid beat Paktia Ittihad 3-2. Tape ball cricket in Serobi, Paktika. A tape ball cricket tournament started in Serobi district, Paktika, featuring 30 teams. In the opening match, Master Gohar defeated Cameron by 4 wickets. Amo Sharks defeat Boost in Shpagiza cricket. The Emo team beat Boost by 77 runs after dismissing them for only 51 runs, according to the Afghanistan Cricket Board. That's all for today's bulletin. Follow Zir News 24 on Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, and TikTok. Like, subscribe, and stay informed. Until tomorrow's bulletin, stay safe and goodbye.